Welcome to the Gate 7 International Podcast, your official English source for all things Olympiacos FC and Greek football. My name is Peter Thompson. This is episode 57. I'm here with my co-hosts Lambro Sirmos, Adi Bulubasis, Costa Levoyanis, and our very, very special guest for today, Olympiacos legend, Brazilian international Ze Elias. Ze, thank you so much for joining us. We've been looking forward to this interview ever since you told us you were coming on. How are you doing today?
First of all, Kalimera Stooli. It's my pleasure to talk to you, and I have a very, very good memories, and all in my heart is in the Olympiacos fans. It's a pleasure. Here is okay. Some problems with I think all of the world know about the COVID, but we must go on.
Super. No, thanks very much again for agreeing to join us. Four of us all in different places, actually. I'm in Belgium, Lambro is in Switzerland, Ari's in the United States, and Peter's in Canada. So you're talking to Olympiacos fans from all over the world.
Yeah.
Hence the Gate 7 International. It's a real pleasure to have you on the show. I thought I would start by just giving our thoughts on how we remember you as a player, and just to talk about you and introduce you. I would say you were a cultured and tenacious left-footed Brazilian central defensive midfielder. You played for 12 teams in 7 countries. You won 2 Brazilian championships, one with Corinthians, one with Santos. You won the UEFA Cup with Inter in 1997, and you won 3 Greek championships in a row with Olympiacos. I believe you were capped 10 times for the Brazilian Seleção, and you retired in 2008, and currently you're a pundit for ESPN Brazil. You speak a hell of a lot of languages for a Brazilian. I believe it's not so common for Brazilian players to speak so many languages. Actually, we had a funny story from the discussion we had with one of your former teammates, Per Zetterberg, and we were talking about communication on the pitch, and we asked, what language did you talk with Giovanni? Like, Giovanni he just spoke Portuguese, so he was like, when I played with Ze Elias in the midfield, I'd tell Ze Elias something in English, and then Ze Elias would say in Portuguese to Giovanni, because Giovanni didn't speak any English. So that was really, again, thank you for having me on the show. I hope I didn't miss anything in listing your, accomplishments and accolades. It's a real pleasure to have you on the show. I guess first question: how old were you when you discovered your passion for soccer? When did you get the bug?
First of all, I say for you before, sorry for my English, long time I don't speak. I try to explain everything. I started to play football with 5 years old. My father worked as a Olivetti company, Italian company, and they have a social club, and the weekend they gonna there, my father, the friends, and have some teams. There were championship inside, and the kids, it was outside the field and play football. And my father with another guy say, it's really good if we can do one team with our kids and play the championship here in Guarulhos, our city. And we start. I start first year. We played not so well, but the first year as experience is okay. And second year we have one or two better players, and we go on better. And after, one guy said to me, "Look, it's better you can go to Corinthians to try to make a proof, the futsal, and the gymnasium football." I'll say, okay. And I go there in 22 August 1982. I know because it's my dog birthday. And I remember we have a party for the dog. I have one Doberman. It's very special. She sleep with me, stay with me all day. I have it just 5 years old. I think my dog say, hey, this is my kid. I must take care about him. And she's always with me. And I make this proof. And the guy said, okay, you stay here. And I start my professional life as a football, because I started at 5. With 12, I start to training to have a practice every day, because I study in the morning, I have a practice in the afternoon for football, soccer, and in the night, futsal is the gymnasium soccer. Since until 1 week before I start to play in the first league, I played my first game. It was 7 September 93, and my last game in futsal in gymnasium football, it was 5 September, because I don't know if I can really gonna be a professional player, football player, or I stop and start to studying physiotherapy, because I want to be a physiotherapist, and music, and I try to play guitar. And the life is like this. And 15 days before I start to make my first game, I say to my mother, I say, Mom, I want to stop to play soccer. She say, why? I say, because I stopped to studying, because I bring money for my house to help my family, and I have a practice in the morning, in the afternoon, in Corinthians, in soccer team, and in the night I play gymnasium football, futsal, and it was another side of the city. And I start to training 8 o'clock in the morning, and I stop to training 10 o'clock. But after I must come back home, and I arrive at home at 12 o'clock in midnight, 1 o'clock midnight, to wake up 6 o'clock again. Monday, since Monday, I don't have a relaxed time. And I said to my mom, I am really tired, because it's already 1.5 years I do that, and I can't anymore. She say, no problem, stay now keep now until December. If in December you don't play, okay, you stop and start to studying. And 15 days after, I make my first game in Corinthians as a professional player.
So, speaking of Corinthians, you've always been considered one of the youngest players to ever feature for Corinthians, something that's a fantastic achievement, especially in Brazilian football, where there's a lot of talented players. We have a lot of younger listeners that have aspirations for professional football. So the question is, when did you know that that professional football was a reality for you?
I never know. I never know, because I used to when I go inside the field or the gymnasium, I always play with my heart. I never imagination. I never be, I want to be a soccer player, professional soccer player. You have some dreams when you are young, 10, 12 years, when you start to play in the street and make a score and go out to say, oh, I am Ze Elias, go, I am Yanakopoulos, Georgievich. When you are a kid, it's normal you do that. But I never think, okay, it's going to be my professional. Never. Because I learned with my father, my parents, if you do something, do it always with your heart. Put all your heart there, because if you don't go on, maybe you are happy because you do what you want, what you feel. And this is important to me. It was always like that, and I never have an idea what I do in football, and during I play football. I start to think something about when I stop 2 or 3 years after, because my wife make a room with my pictures, my shirts, my medals, like that. And I start to remember, oh, this is something important like that. Oh, I have 3 championships with Olympiacos. I start to think about, and these things you say about my youngest player in Corinthians. I was youngest player in '93 until 2005 or 6. One Joe start to play in Corinthians. This is for me now. I know it's something important, but when you are inside the field, inside the sport, the football, you don't think about. But it's something good to talk with my kids. Look, Papa is is like that, we make like this, because when the kids grow up, they must look something, you must give some example for them to see this is the right way, this is the wrong way. If you do like that, you can arrive like here. But if you didn't, you go to another way. And I use these things to my kids. But personally, for me, it's something make good for my heart.
Very well said. Now, how would you describe your playing style to some of the younger listeners, or even Lambro and Peter? Lambro, who was probably very, very young when you were playing, might not remember. And then Peter, who recently started following Olympiacos a few years ago, non-Greek, doesn't have any direct ties to Greece except for his love for Greece. How would you describe your style of play to people that aren't very familiar?
I first of all, I never like to lose one game. If I play with you, I'm gonna kill you inside the field. Yeah, because I want the 3 points. I am like this. I'm built like that. And I put my heart in the field and I try to study my opponents. Always when I gonna play against I saw the guys who play in my zone, how they control the ball, which his position, how he's the best and the strong thing he can do. I always study my opponent, and after, you have a lot of things to happen inside the field. You must be very concentrated to play. And I try to do this. Always play with my heart, try to do everything the coach say to me to do in the field, and put my quality inside. This is I try to do, but I think my strongest quality, it was my heart in the field, I think.
Oh, you definitely had heart. You were actually kind of like a case study for me when I was playing when I was younger growing up. And my coach, who the listeners know, Coach Giovanni, he came on the show before. I was kind of at the time not seen as the most aggressive player. So my coach said, you need to watch Ze Elias play. Watch him. He has heart. Watch what he does and imitate that on the field. And then the rest will come. So you were that case study for me when it came to heart and aggression on the field. Now, when you made your move overseas, why did you choose Germany? Why did you choose Leverkusen when you had other clubs? There were reportedly a lot of big clubs circling around you trying to get your signature. PSV was one as well that was publicly interested. So why did you choose Germany?
First of all, say thank you for your teacher. He is my friend. He's part of my family. No. Why? Because here in Brazil, I already have this proposal for PSV, for Sevilla also, but the money is not so much. We have here in Brazil, we had one law. They say we have we can keep 15% of the total amount for the money. If example, if you goes to Leverkusen for 5 million, you have 15% of this. This when I was in 93 is the law is like that in football playing in São Paulo, in Brazil. Understand? And this is not so much, because when I was search for PSV, they make a proposal. I give less money in PSV at Corinthians. It's not interesting to me. And the Sevilla also, they give less money for Corinthians and less money for me at and I say no. When I was in Leverkusen, it's very interesting like that, because we are a little bit like a slayer for the club, because if the club say to you, okay, you are not anymore here with us, you still continue the contract with the club, but you can do nothing. You must practically separate. You can do everything, but you keep contact with the club in 93. And when I was for Leverkusen, many teams, I know this after, many teams look at me in Olympic games in 96, Inter Milan, and other teams I know. And when I come back to the Olympiadas, the Olympic games, uh, I stay one weekend at home, and after I gonna be a practice with Corinthians because I start the Brazilian Championship. And in the trip, the guys say, because we play in Belo Horizonte in another state, in the trip in flights, he say, look, this is gonna be your last game for Corinthians. I say, why? Because you are already in Leverkusen. The Corinthians is already fixed sale you for Leverkusen. Now it's just you and Leverkusen put the agreement and you go. And I play against the Atlético Mineiro. I think it was 13 August 96, I think. And in 22 August, I arrived in Leverkusen. I don't have an option. The best option I have, it was Leverkusen. And for me, it was very important because, you have a lot of rivalry here in Brazil, as in Greece, Corinthians and Palmeiras, Olympiacos and Panathinaikos. In few moments, or it's very dangerous. You never know if the guy come to ask you an autograph or come to hit you, kick you, or offense you in the words, something like that. And I was young. I was with 18 years old, 19 years old, and this is a little bit difficult here. 19 years old, one guy, young. I can go in the street. It's very difficult because everybody knows me, and I have a little bit afraid what's going to happen. Because one day I stopped my car and give one present for my friend. When I come back, a lot of example, a lot of fans from Palmeiras is beside in my house, my car, and say, hey, what, you stop the car here? Say, hey, gonna see my friend. No, here is our zone. It's dangerous. You come here, take care. Say, okay, no problem. It's something like that. And when I was in Germany, I remember something like that. I go in the first time in the street, nobody look at me. Nobody. I say, no, my friend, something strange here because, I just start. I'm football player, but nobody. Okay. And another day, I do the same thing. I go inside. I go in the center. Nobody look again. I say, oh, my friend, how is possible this? I'm Ze Elias. I'm playing Corinthians like that because I used to do this in my heart, my mind. And the third day, I go again, and nobody look at me, and I understand. Okay, I have my life back. I can do whatever I want. I am okay. It was very important to me when I arrived in Europe because it's another mentality, it's another way how they think football, how they live football. It was important. I think my mistake is gonna be out for Leverkusen very quickly. I think I need more 2 or 3 years in Leverkusen to grow up as a man, as a culture, how the European Football League is, because you have an Italian country play like that. Some teams is very important like that. England, Spain, I don't have this experience. I just want to play football. I was with 19 years old. You don't think about this. I think I make mistake in this time.
Well,
And I guess that leads, Peter, if I can jump in, that leads me to a question like, coming from Brazil, did you know how certain leagues played? They played like this in England, they played like this in Spain, they played like this in Italy. Was that something you even were thinking about when you were making this move? And maybe to give the listener some background, what was German football considered back then?
No, you see, I don't know, but I am a little bit more older than you. In my time, don't have internet. You don't have a lot of informations you have now. In Brazil, we look just two world championships, Germany championship and Italian. We don't have a lot of information as today. And you keep in mind, okay, in Germany, we keep in mind in Italy, but just to see the game, you don't know how is the life, how is the day by day. This is very important for one guy with 19 years old to go another country without speak nothing, because I just speak in Portuguese at this time. To understand how is the life, because I am the guy who grew up in the family with three brothers, three kids. My sister is older than me and my brother, and my father work is not uh, take a lot of money. We have right money for it, to pay the bills and nothing else. I have one clothes to go out. I have one shoes to go out. Is the same clothes to use it every day. And when you have this opportunity, you go and you discover it. Start to discover how is the world, how is the world, uh, 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 how is the world think, how is the world live. It's very different experience for one guy in 93. Today is very easy, because today I speak with you. You are in Belgium, another is in Canada, in Greece. Today is a little bit easy, to find this. And at this time when I was there, it's difficult. For this I think is my mistake, because when I arrive in Inter Milan is another word. I arrive in Inter Milan with Ronaldo. If you think, all the eyes of the world is going to be in Inter, because at this moment, Ronaldo is the best player in the world. And then is naturally, you have a Brazilian guy, you keep side this guy, you are always inside with this guy. And I always with Ronaldo in Pinetina, in the game. It's something different. If you don't care, if you don't pay attention, you live together Ronaldo, you live the life of Ronaldo, understand? And this is a little bit dangerous for one guy with 19 years old, don't have a lot of experience.
So actually, you've set me up perfectly for the goal. And you said you played with the Olympics team in 1996, and I think Ronaldo was on that team with you, and
Yeah.
Roberto Carlos as well. There's the big debate today about Messi and Ronaldo. Who's the best? I'm not going to ask you who's the best
But
between
I can say no
Cristiano.
problem. For
I'm not going to
me,
ask you. I'm not going to ask you who's best, Cristiano or Fenomeno, because I know what the answer is going to be.
yeah.
But how would you compare them? How would you compare Cristiano to Ronaldo?
I compare as Cristiano Ronaldo as Messi, because Messi is naturally. He don't make a lot of powerful to do what he did in the field. Ronaldo, no. Ronaldo, he knows he's a strong things, his strong quality, but he knows also he must work for to arrive in this point at this point. And I am very, very. I am not, but I use also the example for Cristiano Ronaldo for a lot of friends of mine, something like that. For me, Ronaldo is only one. Ronaldo phenomenon is only one. For me, it was the best player I played, because he has the possibility in few seconds to change the play 10,000 times. If he makes something like that, I'll say, okay, now I'm gonna mark, put him in this side. No, he goes another side. But in velocity is fantastic. Is the powerful is fantastic. He grew up in futsal. He knows how he uses his body. Always, if you look now in the internet, have a lot of videos. Ronaldo, the dribbling is not long. It's always the ball is always with the glue, something like glue in his foot. The ball is always close, always, and this is very difficult. That is very, very difficult. For me, he's fantastic. After gonna be Messi and after Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, let's get into Olympiacos. After Inter Milan, obviously playing in one of the biggest clubs in the world, winning the UEFA Cup, you went to Bologna for a year, and then after that, you came to Greece in 2000. So the first thing I want to ask is, what made you choose Olympiacos, and did you know anything about the culture of the team or the club before you arrived in Greece?
No, my choice for Olympiacos, it was after World Cup 98, because I almost played the World Cup 98 with the Brazilian national team. And I am a little bit, how can I say this, upset, because I was called for all the games in national team, and I play against Argentina. I play very bad, but not just me, not only me, but all the team play very bad. We lost 1-0 at Maracanã for Argentina. And I think this game put me out for the national team. And I'm very upset because I am very, I always want to compete with you. I always want to change, make a challenger, with you, with my life, with I need this. And after when I am out, when I saw I am out, when I listen I am out, I say, okay, now I start to search something to be happy, to enjoy my work, because since 12 years old, I always be professional, professional, professional. I I start to search something with my heart, and I have some offers, but I remember Olympiacos in some games I saw in TV. So, oh, the fans is crazy. Greece is very beautiful place also. Okay, and I received the offer, and I go. I think for me the best 3 years in my life as a football player, because I feel, uh, in my heart the same energy the fans have in the tribune when I play. This is for me is the best thing and the best present I receive from God. Because it's difficult when you play football, professional football. You have a lot of things to think about inside the field, inside the game, and sometimes you don't feel this energy, this change between fans and the players. But always when I play with Olympiacos, I feel like that. I always being connected with the fans inside the field.
Well, when you joined Olympiacos, there were, I believe, already two Brazilian players in the team, Luciano and, of course, Giovanni. So, we'll get into those players, especially Giovanni, obviously one of the most legendary Olympiacos players of his time. Did they help you settle in? Was it easy for you to make that transfer to Greece because there were some other Brazilian players in the team?
No, I think today is a little bit more easy. I don't know, because we lost a lot of quality here in Brazil. We don't have any players like some years ago. We know Greece. We know how it is to play in Greece, but a few players here in Brazil with the managers, they search something else. Italy, England, Spain, and after they try to they look at the other place. But I think Olympiacos start to call attention for here in Brazil, because now we start everybody is gonna look in Champions League, Europa League. One you play always, and everybody start. Oh, these teams all the time, every year he play. He goes in the important championship. This is important for Olympiacos to keep this mentality and to keep this for grow up in all the world, a lot of the world.
This is going a little bit off track of your career, but I remember when Rafinha signed, there was kind of a shock in Brazil as well that he would be leaving Flamengo, which is such a huge team there, for this team in Greece, Olympiacos. Can you kind of explain what I know you knew about that, and people in Greece were quoting you for a lot of stories. Like, how did that develop, and what did fans there think about that? This team in Greece coming for Rafinha.
Everybody still don't understand why, especially now after 1 year he come back, especially of this. We in general, the comments here in Brazil, it was because of the money, because they offered money. We didn't know if it's other things, but especially it's for the money. It was a shock because Flamengo today is the best team in Brazil, the best in financial, the money. As a team also have the best players. You see Flamengo not play very good in this year because change coach, the pandemic, a lot of things. Maybe in Tuesday it's gonna be Brazilian championship again. And it's really shock. It's really, it was shock because it's not common. He changed Flamengo, the biggest team, for Olympiacos. As I told you, Olympiacos is not the first word in football, here in Brazil. But who knows? Who knows how Olympiacos is big in Greece? Can understand why Rafinha is go there, but it's really nobody understand why, especially when you come back after 10 months.
But the club in Brazil, I assume, is fairly well known. Obviously, it's a huge country, but there have been like big name Brazilian players that played for the club, including yourself, Rivaldo, in the past as well. The club has a good reputation in Brazil, you would say. And the other question is, have you watched the team play recently? Has there been more attention because Rafinha's transfer? Do you know much about the team today? How we play?
Yeah, always when you have a biggest name to go in the team as Olympiacos, they call attention. He's go there. Why? And you start to understand and start to see. You start to look. But here we have a lot of with the internet. We have a lot of guys channels in YouTube, in internet. Page for European football, and Olympiacos is always inside because Olympiacos is the biggest team in Greece. Is normally you talk about Olympiacos, but you don't know 100%. The people doesn't know how they know Inter Milan, how they know Bayern Munich, but they know Olympiacos. Understand? This is common now here in Brazil. This is normal. The first question is, I remember for Rivaldo, no? If the biggest guys is something like that, no? The first question.
No, it was related to how the club is perceived in Brazil. But actually, another question now is relating to Giovanni. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Pelé, they said in Greece that Pelé said that Giovanni is the next Pelé, when he was young. And okay, I'm not going to get into the story of how he ended up in Greece. I've read and heard about the story many times. I think he was at Barcelona and he got an offer from Greece. He had a bad relationship with Louis van Gaal in Spain. And he got an offer from Olympiacos and he told his agent, no, I don't want to go to Greece. But then he had he was on a beach, I think, in Brazil, and a fisherman told him, have you ever been to Greece? Oh, beautiful sea, lovely country. And he said it was a message from God, and that's how he ended up in Greece and played with us for 6 years. Now, my question is, have you seen the guy on Instagram today? He looks fitter than he was when he was playing football.
Yeah. but without hair, eh? But without hair.
I mean, seriously, for us watching him from the stadium, from the television, it was poetry. Like for a manager, probably he was a nightmare because you didn't know where to put him. He's just one of those players that didn't really have a position, but all the fans wanted him on the pitch because every time he touched the ball, it's like everybody stood up. It's like, what's he going to do now? But
Yeah.
what was it like for you to
This-
play with him?
For us, it's also like that. You never know what he gonna do in the field. He's very, very clever guy. Is unpredictable. You know, you don't know. I remember when we play against Iraklis in Greek Cup. I think yes 5-4 yeah, and start the game in the beginning. In 2 or 3 minutes the game, he look at me, say, Ze, today I score for the midfield. I say, why, Giovanni? No, the goalkeeper is always in the front. I say, no, Joe, no, don't do that. It's a serious game. No, please. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. I say, okay. And I forgot, because play like that. After in second half, he scored. Boom. And he looked at me and say, you see, I told you. I told you. I told you. I say, okay, Joe. Okay. But it's very, very, it's fantastic play. I remember my first practice in Olympiacos. He likes a lot to put the ball between the legs, like that. We call it in Brazil túnel. And the first practice, I go and he took in the breast and say, okay, I think, because I wasn't mark him, put pressure on him and say, okay, he changed the ball. He gonna put between my legs. And I say, oh, motherfucker, no. And I look at him and say, Giovanni, please, take care. I am Brazilian guy, but I kick your ass if you do again. And he started laughing, He started to laugh. Yes. And, he's a very, very good guy. He has the heart, his biggest heart I saw in the football. He's a fantastic guy.
That's an amazing story. That's amazing.
It's an incredible story. I wanted to ask you, we ask every former player about the manner that your diet was managed at the club. There's a lot of jokes that the Greek fans have, especially the diaspora fans, the Greeks that are not in Greece. And we always joke that players, when they come to Greece and they play for Olympiacos, they can get on what we call the Soulvaki diet. But Per and Matt Derbyshire and Giannakopoulos gave us a little bit different insight. They told us that there was a little bit more into the diet and making sure you made weight, weighing yourself. The team made sure that you were staying fit. What was your experience after playing for teams like Leverkusen and Inter, Bologna in your career? Organizations that may have a little bit more discipline in that regard. Do you think, was Olympiacos pretty good in managing your diet and making sure that you were able to give the best that you could on the field from that perspective?
No, I think, when you was professional player or professional athlete, you must take care about your diet. You must take care about your food, what you drink, what you eat, because this can put you up and put you down in your career. I remember when I was in Bologna, every day, first the practice, you go in balance, say your weight. If you are 500 grams up your weight, after the practice, you're running half an hour. Not strong, okay, but half an hour, or bicycle, half an hour. If you are 1 kilo up your weight, Bologna has one restaurant they call Brasseria, not existing anymore. The boss there, it was Bologna fan. And the doctor, if you are 1 kilo up, the doctor send you to have a dinner there. You must be there 7 o'clock, and they have your diet. You have your menu. It's too much control, too much control. And this you keep in mind. You know what you can eat, what you can drink. Well, Olympiacos also is good. Have a good guy. Contis, I think, is still there. Another day I saw him within Carimbe Instagram. He's very clever guy, but he's a little bit crazy also. I remember that. But he's very professional guy, very serious guy. And before the practice, every practice, Ze, please, and a note there. Okay, 72 kilos. Okay, is your weight, Giovanni, and he did like that every day. This is important, to have a discipline, and you play for the team. You must be professional because the team pays to you to be professional.
Ze, I want to ask you something about, during your time at Olympiacos, the team had never won an away game in the Champions League. It took us a very long time to win an away game. I think it was 2006, the year we beat Werder Bremen. You weren't with the team at that point, but we've asked this question to everybody, Stelios and to Per. Why couldn't the team win when we went away from home? We had the amazing home record that it took an amazing Manchester United team to break that record that we had at home. And we asked both of them, and Stelio said, it's just one of those things in football. Like, we couldn't win away from home. I don't know what happened. It's just one of those things. And Per, he kind of said, like, I don't know. Again, so I don't know what it was. Like, whenever we played away from home, we played shit. Like,
yeah.
But why? Like, I asked the same question we asked to them. Why?
No, because the Olympiacos didn't believe you can win outside. It's simple like that. If you believe, you can play wherever you were. You can play in Germany, you can play in Italy, you can play in England, but you must believe you can play. You must believe you can win. You can. Why? I think when you go inside the pitch, you have 11 against 11. Understand? It's not different. 11 against 11. You must play. You must believe you can beat the guy. If you go outside, it's the same. Some guys feel the pressure, and other guys no. Some guys, example, me, when I play outside, I like it because I put in my mind, I gonna shut up this stadium. I win. I'm gonna beat them. I create some reasons to play more, put more energy to win. And Olympiacos must believe like that. Olympiacos is a good team, not just in Greece, because if you saw other teams, other championships, you saw Olympiacos. Say, okay, why? Because Olympiacos have good player, play as a good team, have a quality, intensity. He must believe he can do outside of Greece. One believe you can play. I think in my time when I was in Olympiacos, we're missing this. We don't believe. We go inside the field already with 1-0 for the opponent. It was a problem. You remember, I make mistake, but I try to do something. When I take a red card against Manchester United,
I was there. I was at that game.
There. I feel in my heart, say, oh no, we took 3-0, and the guy's joking in the field, pass there, pass there, pass there. Say, I must do something to wake up my team. To try to reaction, to create some reaction inside our team. But Verón, it was very clever, because I always say he took the ball from outside for inside, because his right leg for change the ball and I tried to block him, but he saw before, and he took the ball and I kicked him. And it was very, very bad, I think. But I tried to do something, because we must play.
I remember that very vividly. I was in the stadium.
Yeah.
And we were losing 2-0, and I think it was just before half time that you made the red card.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you something, and you give me the opportunity. You said earlier that when you're on the pitch, you're going to kill the opponent. And yeah, when you did make crunching tackles like the one on Verón or Ocas, or in general, we remember you as that just, enforcer in the midfield. You were very, very strong in the challenge. Some fans in the stadium, people talk a lot of crap in the
normal.
stands. Some fans would say, Ze Elias, he gets lots of yellow cards and he makes lots of red cards because he gets injured all the time, so he needs the time to recover. And they were trying to say that that's why you would make big tackles. I was shocked to learn about the condition that you had at Olympiacos towards the end. You had you had a phlegmoni in Greek, we call it. I can't remember the word in English, but you
in pubalgia, there's a problem here in the body here inside. Yeah.
But basically, you had to do therapy before training and after training, and I read that you even had trouble walking. And things ended badly at the club. But I mean, were you playing at the same time? Like you were playing in the team normally, and you were getting therapy and treatment from the staff, all the time. How was that for you?
It was very hard to me because I make therapy, but I take injections also before the match, before the practice, and everybody knows, the doctor, physiotherapist, the coach, this coach, everybody knows, because it's a little difficult to me. But this is, the football player, a professional athletes, you arrive in a certain level, you play with pain. It's normal to you play with pain. It's normal you have some troubles to make some moves, because you have a lot of pain. This is normal because we have a practice every day. We start from 5 years old, when we grow up, the body grow up to do a lot of power. Sometimes this is not good. You make a wrong exercise also. And it's normal you live with pain. But at this moment, for me, it was very bad, how the way they send me away, like that. But I understand after. I don't have a problem. I understand how is the mentality. It's not Olympiacos do that, but all the world football players, the teams do something like that. But I never play when they think about you took a red card or yellow card to go out. It's not like this. If you saw almost my injury, it was muscular problem. Because I never be 100% okay. When you don't have a muscle problem resolved 100%, they always have a little bit problem. We call in Brazil is like when you have a cold, you put I don't know these things to warm me up. I don't remember the name. You put to warm me up, but you cover your head, but your foot it's out. And you feel cold in your foot. Okay, I put my foot and my head is cold. It's something like that if you don't have 100% muscle problem resolved. And I always play like that. And also somebody kicked me. I have an injury in my knee one time, and I stay out with important games. I remember against or Liverpool or Manchester United because before these games in Greek Championship, they kick I have one injury because they kick me and I turn my knee. But it's okay. The fans always crap. They crap. They say good things and bad things. This is normal life. The football player must be useful. This.
Well, I think it's a perfect time now for us to get into some fan questions. We had a lot of fans very excited to ask you a few things. So we'll get started with I guess the individual that guessed who the former player was. We did a mystery guess thing that we always do on Twitter and also on social media. Coots was the one that guessed that Ze Elias was joining us. So his question will be asked first. And the question he asked was, what was the difference in the coaching style between Mantzourakis and Takis Lemonis?
Mantzourakis work a lot with Takis, with pressure like that. Takis Lemonis, it was the second coach, and when Mantzourakis go out, Takis Lemonis keep the work, Mantzourakis, but also is more near the players, more to walk into to talk, more relationship, more friendship. This is the difference between Mantzourakis and Takis. Takis is very, very nice guy, very clever guy, and Mantzourakis also is a good coach. He's a good coach, but this is the difference between one and another one.
Now, here's a question that we got that I thought was really interesting. This is from Bill Clay. You can follow him at @Dotonian. And his question was, what are your thoughts on Patsatzoglou? My generation tends to mythologize him as one of the best talents Greece produced. Many believed he could have gone to Man U without his knee injury. Was he really that good, in your opinion?
I think Patsatzoglou in a time I play in Greece is a few players can play outside Greece, in the biggest teams. Patsatzoglou is one of these. Patsa is fantastic player, has strong power, technique, and have a passion to do what they play. Fantastic player and a very nice guy, professional guy also. I think he's one of can play in the other teams in the world, not just in Greece. He can play also in Spain easy.
One question from Konstantinos Kostis, who you can follow on Twitter at Kosti_Kostis. He asked, who were your closest teammates away from the pitch at Olympiacos? And do you keep in touch with any teammates and coaches these days?
Yeah, I always have contact with Kalembe, not every day, but after 15, every 15 days we talk. Hello, how are you? Everything okay? Giovanni also, but sometimes I spoke with Zettenberg. I send a special message for him, Christmas, something like that, and I start to make some comments in Jolly and in Yadi's Instagram. These megalopustis both.
Oh man.
Excellent.
Good guys.
Ze, the next question is a question that came from a lot of people, from Trikalos 7, and from my friend Dimitris Diamadis here in Brussels. You wore the number 13 shirt at Olympiacos, and we did our research, and we learned that number 13 was the number that you wore when you were 5 already. Yes. And that's the story why you wore the number 13. The question is, when you picked number 13, when you came to Olympiacos, red and white, did anybody explain to you what that meant? And did anybody tell you, maybe that's a bad idea?
No, nobody told me about that. Nobody. I think also because I have a lot of they create something. They wait a lot for my job. How it's gonna be in Olympiacos. He doesn't know if I were okay, if I'm not okay, if I'm good or not good. You create some expectation about the performance. If they say to me, look, this thing is for another team, sure I change the number. Maybe I put a number 4, but it's okay. They know now.
Ze, you brought up that you talk to Karambu once in a while, and you don't have to answer this. You don't even have to go into specifics. But do you guys ever talk about players in Brazil? Maybe recommend some players to the club?
No. Sometimes yes. Sometimes he say, "How is we are interested like that?" This say, "He's a good player, not good player, is more or less." But most of time is, "How are you, Christian? Your family?" And he also called me, "How is you?" because he was here in 2014 for World Cup, and he comes to a lot of places and don't come to see me here in São Paulo. And I always make a joke with him. Hey, you are a bastard. You not coming here in my house like that. Yeah, because I say him always. But almost the time is just to know how is him. In few times he asked me for the players.
Now, Ze, we are coming up on an hour. Do you have time for a few more questions, or do you got to go?
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure, because if you have to
Oh,
go,
it's okay.
Oh, okay, perfect. Lambro, you had the next question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. You're of course working for ESPN in Brazil. Maybe you can explain what you do for the listeners there. But would you ever want to get into the game in a coaching role or a scouting role? And if you did, would you ever want to do something with Olympiacos again? Because we know a lot of fans really love when ex-players come back. And of course, a lot of ex-players have brought so much to this club. Carambe, of course, has brought so many star young kids from the French league. And so everyone's always excited to ask. So first, if you ever, what you're doing currently with ESPN Brazil, if you want to go into scouting. Yeah.
I work as commentator in ESPN Brazil. When I stopped to play football, I start to make this job in Rádio Globo. Is one very important radio in Brazil. And after 5 years, I received proposed to work as commentator in the ESPN Brazil. It's nice. I don't need to take a pills after the programs. I don't need to run in behind the players. I don't must put ice in my knee after the programs, after the games. It's a little bit more relaxed, but it's more intensive in the mind, because you are in TV. You make you have a responsibility what they say, because if you say something wrong and the people believe, the player is going to be a problem, maybe. I took some responsibility, and you must think this is different job, but it's 12 years now as a commentator. It's nice to work like that. If Olympiacos say to me to do something like that, I close my eyes, say, okay, it's a pleasure. What do you need? I love Olympiacos. Olympiacos is my team, my heart team. Is always in my heart. The 3 years I passed there, I live there. I never live in another country. For me, it's gonna be a pleasure if I receive this. No problem. But I respected the guys who work there now. I don't want to take place for these guys. Never. I just answer because you asked me.
Yeah, of course. And I want to say we would love to have some Brazilian youngster superstars coming through Olympiacos. That would be a dream for us as well. So if you see any and no one else knows about them, and we don't have to pay too much, let's click Carambe. No.
Ze, you brought up that story about Giovanni telling you he was going to score from half field. And you also brought up that Olympiacos, your time at Olympiacos, were 3 of the best years of your life. Do you have any other, they could be funny stories or even an interesting story, something good that happened that you always will remember in the time?
Yeah, I remember one not so good history, but funny. We play against Xanthi in Xanthi, and it was very bad time, weather time, rain. It's terrible, wind, everything, and we are in the airport, and they say we must wait for 1 hour because the tempest is dangerous. The weather is dangerous. Okay, but after 15 minutes, the pilot arrived and say we must go because in few moments we can arrive in Athens. And I say okay, no. And I have scare of airplane because in 95 I was in accident. I have one accident flight with the Corinthians. I almost die and I have afraid. And this guy in this flight, the airplane is this damn, the airplane do like that. Go up, go down, right side. I remember Amanatidis. Amanatidis is like an octopus, he start to do like that. I have a lot of arms, because he's afraid. Everybody has afraid, Everybody start to pray. It's like, I say, oh no, okay. And after we arrive in Greece, when the airplane opened the door, I remember Giovanni go out, and Giovanni is with the cap, this cap, run away as a Usain Bolt, is very. And Giovanni started running. You remember? You can imagine Giovanni running in the airport way. Giovanni is crazy. The airplane, and Giovanni looked like this and tried to take back the cap, but the cap is run away. It was very fun. It's funny now, but in the moment we have a lot of care. And Amanatidis is always crazy, always. It's like that. Start to do like that and kiss the sand, Oh, it's crazy.
Oh, that's hilarious. And thank you, Costa Papadimitriou, for that question. That was a hilarious story. I love that. Definitely love that story.
Ze, since we're coming to the end and we want to finish with just a quick fire round, some more kind of human questions, let's say, because we've talked a lot about football. So I'm just gonna ask you some questions, starting off with you have a free trip to go anywhere in the world, anywhere you want to go. Where do you go?
With my wife, with my kids, alone. Okay, with my family in Greece.
Anything, any place. You're in lockdown. You go to Greece.
Yeah, in Greece, especially in Athens, because one day I want to show my kids, where I play and where I am happy as a football player. I have this dream.
Hopefully next time you're in Greece, we're in Greece and we can go for a beer and watch a game.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you very much. I must pay a lot of beer, I think.
No. That would be our honor.
But you'll turn up, and in typical Greek fashion, they'll give you free drinks all the time.
I took more Soulvaki, Kotopoulou Soulvaki. It's fantastic.
It is.
Or Greek salad.
Perfect. The next question is,
feta cheese here in Brazil is very expensive, eh? My God, it's very expensive.
Is it imported, or do they make it there?
No, it's import, but they try to make it here, but it's very expensive. Costed one ticket from Greece, just to know how.
Okay. Next question. What's the last movie you watched, or the last series you watched on TV?
Last series, I start to Mandalorian. This Mandalorian, the Disney, because ESPN is Disney. Disney is the owner, and they give for us the possibility to see this series. It's good. It's like a Star Wars.
Star Wars fan.
Fantastic. Way.
I had no idea. Next question. You sit down for a meal and you can eat anything you want. What do you eat? I guess that's chicken souvlaki, right?
Yeah, this is chicken souvlaki. It's fantastic. Oh my God. And French fries. Ooh, fantastic.
With some tzatziki?
Tzatziki. Oh, my friend. Stop. Please stop. Oh, my.
It's almost lunchtime there in Brazil. We can't do this to him. Come on.
It's very good. Very good. If I can eat a meat, a steak. For me, I'm crazy for steak. In Brazil, also, we have a lot of house places they call churrascaria, and they put, and you go away. They say, steak. They call churrascaria is in the one place you go. You have a rodízio. Rodízio is every 5 months have one guy come with one type of steak. Some picanha, contrafilé. It's like a Kotopoulou diet, Kotopoulou with fat, Kotopoulou little bit fat, is something like that.
Who was your childhood idol growing up?
Eder Aleixo. Eder. It was the player playing national team, 82, left side. He's with the left leg. It was my inspiration. In many 2 years ago, one guy worked with me. He was in Atlético Mineiro, and this guy Eder, it was there, and I have a lot of emotion with this guy because if I talk about him, I remember my grandfather, because when I was very young, 2, 3 years old, 5 years old, 5, 6, 6 years, sorry, 6 years, because it's 82. I always go to grandfather house and I stay there for a long time. And my grandfather is a fan for Atlético Mineiro, and this guy play Atlético Mineiro. And my grandfather say, "Oh, this guy kick the ball like you, left side, left leg, this." And I grow up with this feeling, and this guy worked with me, make a surprise. He was in Atlético Mineiro club and say, "Hey, Ze, I have something to give to you. I don't know if you like this or no." And they call Eder, and I start to talk with Eder, start to speak with Eder. And I start to cry because I remember my grandfather. And I say to him, "Look, you are the reason to me think and drink and dream about football player. Thank you very much." And he also started to cry. He's very emotional guy, very, very good guy. Eder was my
Beautiful.
inspiration.
I need to look him up actually. I'm born 86. So
You
that's a
see,
little
if you want to see him, he scored in '82 Brazil against Russia, the second goal I think, and also he scored against Scotland in this World Cup '82. He's a very good guy. The Scotland he make a
chip.
in the goal. Yeah, very good player.
I'm gonna need to check that guy out.
Yeah.
If you can go back in time and play a game, any game in your career, which one would it be?
With the same result? Yeah, 1-4 Olympiacos against Panathinaikos. This is fantastic game. If I come back, I put one more 2-3, or it was 1 against 6-1 for Olympiacos. It was fantastic. It's better.
We had a fan that actually guessed that was going to be one of your favorite memories as well.
Yeah, but I have a lot of games, but this game is very special to me because it was the first game I have one coin in my head. I took 6 grams. I remember the doctor. "Zay, you're okay?" I say, "Okay." Tack, 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 tack. "Okay, go." And I go.
Actually, since 2000, we learned this the other day. We've only beaten Panathinaikos in Leoforos 2 times. I think in the league, 2 times in the league, and that time in the cup, 3 times.
Wow.
So, and that, that's a legendary game. It's still very much a reference point, that game and the 3-0 in Rizupoli.
I know the problem. We must call the former players to play. No problem.
That would be great. I think I'm done here with the quick fire round, guys.
Zay, I had one question. We always like to do at least one question for the younger kids, just something to give them some advice going forward. Now, you brought up something no one has brought up yet: futsal. I know when I first started playing futsal, it wasn't until I didn't even learn about it until high school. And I started playing. It was something that I was told to do, something I could do in off season to just keep playing, and something to do in the evenings. Why do you think futsal is so important for player development? And do you recommend that the young players, our younger listeners, play futsal in order to help develop their touch, their technical abilities, as well as endurance? I mean, I never felt more tired than after I was playing futsal.
Yeah, if they can start to play young with 5 years, 6 years, is very important. Futsal gives to you the way how you protect the ball. Normally you have a lot of pressure, and you must use your body to protect and to keep the ball in your foot. this in the field, in the pit, in the soccer, is very, very good, because if you have a tackle, if you have a pressure, you can keep the ball and protect and play. This is going to be more easy if you grow up with as a futsal. Also, you create the possibility to see all the plays, all the field, because in the futsal, you it's too much tactic. You have a lot of moves, and you can see the game, you can see the players, you can see what you do in the practice. In the possibility, you have a diagonal player, you have a parallel player, you must put up the ball, you must dribbling, you can see every pitch, you can see everything, and this you grow up with futsal. And the most important thing I think is the quality, the ability you create with the futsal, because the ball must be in contact with your foot every time, all the time. This in the field, it is in the futsal, it's okay, but if you put in the pitch, nobody can touch, nobody can take out the ball of you. If you saw why Messi is killer, because always the ball is in his foot. It's in fast, but in his foot. He bring the ball as okay, it's mine. I put here in my breath and go. And this is futsal give for the guy. But you must work a lot of this, because it's a little bit difficult when you have pressure, when you have you must win, you must do the coach give to you the say is. But these three things for me is most important if you can use this in futsal.
And for people that don't know what futsal is, it's smaller. It's like very small fields. The ball is a little bit different too. The ball is a little heavier. It doesn't bounce. It's when as soon as the ball goes out, it's an immediate restart. Everything's with your feet. Very fast paced. It's something that's very helpful, especially when you're developing to play futsal and get a lot of touches on the ball. Small field, great for development.
And I actually have one last question. It's not even a quick fire question, but a player who just left Olympiacos, a Brazilian, Guilherme Torres, I think he played for Corinthians as well. We loved him so much and we're so disappointed to see him go. I should have asked this earlier, but what was your thoughts on him if you've seen him play? And then in Brazil, how was he? Because we loved him so much. So
Yeah, I saw him born for football, because when I started to work as commentator, he's playing for Portuguesa in Serie B in second division, and after he goes to another team, and arrive in Corinthians. I think he was very, very good guy, very good player. I don't know. I look at not too much play made games him in Olympiacos when he was there, but I remember him. He's a very technical guy, very, very. He's very easy to him to change the ball, to make 1-2 with his friend, but he don't have a lot of with heart. It's difficult. It's different. He is different guy. He's think guy. He's think football, and is a good guy, good player. I like him. I like him.
Well, Zay, that about wraps up everything we have for you today. I want to thank you so much. We took out quite a bit of your time today, but you gave us so many great insights and so many great answers. Before we let you go, is there anything else that you want to say to the Olympiacos fan base, before you head out?
First, I want to say sorry for my English. I know I don't.
Zay, it was fantastic. It was perfect.
It's a long time I don't speak English, but I try to give a message in Greek, if I understand, they understand. Okay. Και εγώ πάντα στο Olympiacos καρδιά πάντα. I don't know if I can. It's always Olympiacos fans is always in my heart. It was 3 years fantastic. I just want to say thank you very much for everything they give to me, everything the possibilities to give to me today, to remember this history, to talk with my kids, to to see my goals, especially against the Heracles, because it was the most beautiful goal in my career. Just really thank you very much. Thank you. It's all on my heart. This is the gratitude. This is fantastic for me.
And I think I can say for us and for all Olympiacos fans, we should say thank you to you too, because the injury story that you brought up and being difficult to walk and you giving everything for our football team and our team and our fans means so much to us, because we don't always get that from people, and some people just see us as a stop going on to a different league. So we want to thank you as well for everything you gave. You sacrificed your body to play for our team, and I would just like to say thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And when I was in Greece, if I go to Greece, I hope I see all of you, and I pay for all souvlaki with the Greek salad and tzatziki.
That sounds
Perfect.
amazing.
Yeah,
Gonna bring you
it's gonna
some
be a pleasure.
Rakomelo. Do you like
Uh,
Rakomelo?
Rakomelo.
Yeah.
Oh, I stop, my friend. Stop. I start to have hunger now.
Oh man. Well, Ze, thank you again so much. We had a blast. I hope you enjoyed chatting with us, and best of luck with everything in the future for you.
No, thank you very much. I learned with my father, my parents. We don't. When we die, we don't bring the car or mobile phone or computer. We bring to the God our experience in our heart. And thank you very much for this 1 hour and a half. It's very special for me. I remember a lot of things. We can stay here for a lot of day, 24 hours to speak about Olympiacos, my experience, my feelings, my love for Olympiacos. Thank you very much for all of you. My Instagram, and after I send my mobile for you, if they need something here in Brazil, it's going to be my pleasure to help you. Okay, and thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Muito obrigado. Thank you so much.
Enfiar estou para Policalô, filhos meus. I know something. É igual que sério, digo.
I wish I could speak Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, as well as you speak English, man. There's no way.
Me too.
I can say, yeah.
You know one thing. I know one more history a little bit. You know how I learned English? In Greece. It was in Greece, because I never took English lessons. When I was in Leverkusen, I learned Germany. When I arrived in Greece, only guy speak Italian in Brazil. In our team, nobody. But only guy tried to speak Germany with me. It was Per Zettenberg. For this, he's a special guy for me. But he don't speak. He speak English as I am, Germany as I am speak English. Nothing. It's a big disaster. And after I start to see the movie, I start to listen, and I start to take a risk, to speak, because in Germany it was Ich habe, in English I have, and I start to think, oh, it's something similar, and it was Greece, and also give this present to me.
You can be a diplomat.
Oh no, it's a little bit difficult because I don't have political. Oh.
He's too much of a killer.
No, it's a little bit difficult. To be a diplomat, you must be patient. Oh no, I don't have it.
Ze, favorite Greek word. Favorite Greek word. Which one's a favorite Greek word?
I can speak, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Malaka!
Perfect.
Okay.
This means my friend. It means wanker. It means idiot.
Yeah,
it means brother. It means everything.
Yeah. I know. But Pustis only Niniadze and Georgievich.
Oh man.
Okay.
Ze, thank you again so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. If I stop para Policalô, and I send my mobile for you, if you need something here in Brazil, you can call me. It's gonna be my pleasure to help you.
Obrigado, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
That
so
means a
much.
lot.
Take care of yourself. Stay safe, you and your family.
Yeah.
I hope we get out of this corona as quickly as we can, and we return to a level of normality, and we do really hope to be able to see you one day in Greece and keep in contact.
Yeah.
All the best. Stay well.
Thank you very much. I wish the same for all of you.